thank you very much for inviting us, Dulcinea and the rest of the team, to this course. Well, as I was saying, we are both linguists. We are both from Murcia, and we are interested in media linguistics. And particularly, we apply applied linguistics. So we use applied linguistics to this analysis of the media, and specifically immigration and refugees. Okay. Can you see this?
Okay.
Okay. So now, so to start with, I would like you to answer a kind of preliminary question. The question is, do you think we are influenced by the media? If yes, how do they influence us? So try to think about it and write a brief comment on that, please. Some minutes.
So can you see the presentation we are sharing in your device? So we are simply asking you a preliminary question so that you can simply give an answer. This is not true, false, or there is no right answer. We're just simply asking you about your opinion about the influence of the media. If we are influenced by the media, and in which way?
Sorry, I was, I am in my office, but I went to another office for a minute and I missed the beginning of the conference. You are saying that but we can ask the question speaking, or we have to write?
Yeah, so it's just by joining the presentation. This is an interactive presentation, so you can go to join.nearpod.com, which is the link in the chat, and you can enter the code there, this code, and join the interactive presentation to take part in the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
So here we already have some. Yes, you can also answer in Spanish if you feel more comfortable. Okay, as Juan Pablo did. So I'm going to hide your names just for you to feel more comfortable. So Gemma, do you like we can start
yes,
mentioning some of them?
Yes, I can see already 4 answers. One says yes, so much. Media sets norms, tell us about the world and what happens around us. Okay, it says sí, enormemente, es una lluvia continua llena de ideología. Okay, we will talk about ideology later. Yes, I think we are influenced by the media. So there is I mean, all the answers we are saying go in the same direction. They all say yes, we're influenced. We're definitely influenced by the media. The selection, some of the answers talk about the selection of news, the content, how the message is communicated. This is very important, and this is, in fact, this is what we analyze, what Jorge and I analyze, how the message is constructed. Okay.
Yeah, and the way and how they influence our way of thinking. So how they shape public opinion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They influence,
our perception. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yes.
I think we can move on. We've got some more answers. Of course, we are nowadays, all aspects of our lives are made public or in the media, even the social media, and almost all of us pay attention to the media every day. So let's see what's the meaning of pay attention to the media. Okay, I think we are ready to move on.
Okay.
So.
Yes. So in fact, yes, we do believe that the media influences somehow, and influence the way we see reality. It's not just it's not that they are just showing us what's happening, but the way they show what's happening, the way they portray reality. So the role of the media, okay, is based on reproducing events from an ideological perspective. We've seen in some of the answers that we've had this, this idea of ideology. Okay, conform public opinion about the controversial topic of migratory phenomena. This is something that already Bagnon at the beginning of the 21st century stated. And the thing is that according to the European Network Against Racism in 2006-2007, the picture that media generally show of the migratory groups is negative. Okay, so this is the thing, and the thing is that all this negative perspective that we read and we see in the media have an effect on the way we as audience perceive migratory phenomena. Okay.
Okay, and now move on to another preliminary question.
Okay, yes. In this preliminary question, we would like you to think about words that you associate with migration. So what are words, no more than 2 or 3, okay, come to your mind when you think of the word migration? So please think about it and share your ideas with us, okay? Enriquecimiento, wow.
Okay, wow.
Refugee, You can write more than one, okay, if you want, 2 or 3, okay, just in case you.
So which words do you think are associated with migration? Yeah.
Problemas, right? Conflict, climate change, protection, fear, poverty, human mobility. Okay, so we can see some positive aspects.
Good food, yeah.
Positive aspects and also negative aspects as well. Odio, problemas, conflicts, problems, hatred, fear, poverty. Okay, so they're like, positive but also negative words that you associate to migration. Not maybe you don't think of migration as a problem, but you read all of the time, okay, on the media that migration is a problem, the problem of immigration, the problem of refugees. Okay, yes.
Okay, so I'd like just first, before moving on, to check everybody is understanding the way we are proceeding, so the procedure using Nearpod, and if you were able to take part in this exercise, or just if you found any problem, let me know. Okay, so here we've got your ideas, and now let's see what the literature.
Sorry, I just had one question, Jorge.
Yeah.
This is Kaisa. I love working like this. It's very nice to work together on the, and I'll share in real time. I think it's great, but I don't understand odio. What was the meaning of that?
Hatred. Hatred is the noun for hate.
Good.
Yeah,
I learned something today.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
so we're gonna try to translate everything into English, everything which is posted in Spanish to translate it into English. So this is where you
I think maybe you did, but Gemma's sound is a little bit going and coming. So maybe that's why I didn't hear it. I think you actually did, but it just escaped me. Thank you.
That's okay.
So those are your answers, your ideas, but let's see what the literature says.
Well, yes, well, some of these words were present in your answers, such as fear, for instance. Hostility, threat, and racism, all these words are very key or are very much frequent in the media. And I don't know why the sound, can you hear me well?
Yeah, sometimes a kind of trembling voice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but occasionally, not always.
Okay, so as you can see, some of the words that you have shared with us, okay, coincide with this. Okay, Jorge, we can move on. Well, so this is what we do, okay? What we do is to study the discursive representation of different migratory groups, such as refugees, immigrants, or asylum seekers, and from a linguistic point of view, okay? So in fact, linguistics is just one of the branches that study the phenomenon of migration, okay? Because migration have been studied from a sociological point of view, from other perspectives, okay? Psychology, politics, okay? But what we do is doing from a linguistic perspective, as I say. So we focus on the definition of inmigración, inmigrante and refugiado, that is immigration, immigrant or refugee. Okay, these are apparently neutral words, okay, with no negative or hostile meaning. If we look up at the dictionary, these terms, okay, these are the definitions, okay? Inmigración, immigration, okay? The movement of non-native people into a country in order to settle there. Okay? Nothing negative, apparently, there. Or for instance, the definition of inmigrante, immigrant, okay? Sorry. It's one who immigrates, just like that. Or refugiado, refugee, a person who has been forced to leave their country or home because there's a war or for political, religious, or social reasons. So no hostility, apparently, or no negative meaning is related to these words. But we are going to see that when we look at the media, these words are normally related to negative terms.
Okay. So and now we would like to introduce the collection of texts that we are going to call corpus. Corpus is just a collection of texts, a big collection of texts. So the corpus or the corpora we explored to offer the results. So to talk about the representation of refugees and migrants in the media. So firstly, we explored headlines. So we compiled a collection of texts of over 400 headlines where the words immigrant and immigration appear. Okay, so the two newspapers we worked with were El Mundo and El País, okay, which are, according to the Office of Justification and Reading Scope, the most widely read in Spain. So we access the news through the digital library and compile news of a 10-year period, okay? So this is the first corpus, immigrants, and the second collection of texts was about refugees, okay? So the second corpus contains news from 2010 to 2016. So again, we worked with the digital newspaper libraries of El Mundo and El País. Okay, so in the second corpus, the collection, the compilation includes not only headlines, but the whole piece of news. So everything was included in the analysis. And here the search word is refugee. So this is the way we proceeded. Okay, so using a big collection of data, of texts, to come to the conclusions we are about to, and the results we are about to present. Okay, more attitudinal questions if you like. So now I'm not asking you, we are not asking you about the words that come to your mind when you think of the word migration, but when the word immigrant is used in the press, so in the media, what words do you think go with it? Which can be different from your own thinking of the word migration. So now let's think of the word immigrant used in the media. So words accompanying immigrant. Okay, here we've got support, here we've got crisis, economic problem, illegal, so problem, Antonio is asking how to take part in the presentation. So Antonio, you just have to open, Antonio, tienes que abrir una pestaña nueva en tu ordenador y acceder a join.nearpod.com, a esta web. Han puesto el link en el chat y poner este código, ¿vale? Este código aparece siempre aquí arriba. ¿Lo ves? El código QB.
Sí, ya lo tengo, pero...
Okay.
Abro una pestaña y escribo esto,
e irás viendo cómo vamos pasando las diapositivas. Entonces podrás participar cuando aparezca una diapositiva de participación.
Eso ya la tengo, me parece. Sí.
Okay, excellent. So we've got illegal, gig workers, integration. Any other word you think that can go or that usually goes with immigrant in the media? War, crisis, need, problems, need. So here you can see like a polarization of your answers. Some of you are using words of support, of victimization words, such as do you need help? So we are here to help you. And some of you are using dehumanization words. So words dehumanizing immigrants, such as you are a problem, you are illegal, you are not integrated in the hosting community, you are poor, okay? So according to the study we conducted, the word, the top negative word accompanying immigrant is illegal. Illegal is the first one. Okay, so we've got a 20% of negativity. This is just looking at 400 headlines. So the first corpus, the corpus of immigrante. Then we've got other negative words such as massive, so like a massive avalanche, massive wave, an invasion, okay? Against immigrants, like fight against immigration, fight against immigrants, expelled, detain or stop migrants, wave, clandestine, dead, okay, block, assault. So, but illegal is the top one without any doubt. Okay, so they are represented as illegal human beings, or as sometimes even as illegal things, not really human beings, okay? Because they are usually dehumanized as we will see in a minute. Okay, and some other word combinations, okay, so we typically find in the media about immigration or including immigrante are, for example, controlar la inmigración, control immigration, or even delito de inmigración, which is immigration crime, okay? Which is not always used to refer to something illegal, but something legal, which is just crossing a border legally, okay? Also, we've got, as I told you before, against immigration, fight against immigration, the problem of immigration, immigration is a problem, okay? Or even relate immigration with crime, okay? So as something to avoid, something to stop, something to be related with crime. Okay, and what about the data, you know, over the years? So these are the results for refugees. And in this figure, in this graph, we can see the percentage of the word refugee per year, okay? There is a yearly increase of news about refugees, you know? Refugees are more and more discussed in the media over the years. So, as you can see here, refugees are mainly associated with international crisis. Why 2015? Why 2015? Because this is the year of the Syrian civil war, the Syrian armed conflict. So there is a significant increase of refugees news from 2015 on. Okay, and here, if we compare the data, you know, the numbers, the percentages, we can see in 2010, just 5.4% of news about refugees, whereas in 2015, we've got 25.3% of news about refugees. So the frequency increases or multiplies by 5 in just 5 years, okay? And so more discussion about refugees, so more problems related to refugees, crisis, you know, negativity is around refugees. So, and this is the exact percentage of negativity per year. So, as we can see, the negativity increases here in 2012, okay, it's 9.6. This is coinciding with news about Jewish and Palestinian refugees, okay? So here we've got how the media, you know, represents the international or discusses about the international crisis. And also here we've got how negativity dramatically grows undoubtedly in 2015, okay? Again, coinciding with the news about Syrian refugees. So there is a global increase of 8 times, so from 2010 to 2015. And here we've got, you know, the highest percentage, again, coinciding with the Syrian refugee movement. So there is a plot change, let's say, in 2015 and 2016. Okay, you know, the way refugees started to be represented changed in 2015 and 2016. Okay, because they started to be pictured as something negative, something invading us, something you know, illegal. What about the words usually accompanying or usually going with refugee? So as you can see here, huir, so to flee or even to escape, is the most consistent word accompanying refugees. Okay, this is not only a result of our study, but also it has been demonstrated by many other studies that fleeing, it's something implicit to the condition of refugee. So it's something, it's the word, the top word, or the, not, sorry, not the top word, but the most constant word appearing with refugee. So refugees flee, then they cross borders, war, okay, war appears in 2013, okay, it's the green one, war. Crisis pops up in 2015, crisis, okay, and continues in 2016, and the word drama, plight, okay, only appears in the last 2 years. So as we can see, flee, border, war are constant words going with immigrante in the media, but crisis implied and drama were started to be used in 2015 because of the Syrian refugee movement. Okay, and here we've got a very simple question for you. So please go to your Nearport presentation, to your interactive presentation, and answer the question here. Which of these two ways of representing refugees do you think is the most common in the press? So you've got A, refugees are victimized, or B, refugees are dehumanized. So you've got 10 seconds. Okay, so here we've got the two options. So they are represented both ways. So they are victimized and they are also dehumanized. But the most common representation is victimization. So representing refugees as victims. So it doesn't mean that they are not dehumanized. Indeed, they are dehumanized. Okay, but as you can see in this graph, in this pie chart, they are dehumanized 15% and also victimized almost 25%. So victimization is over dehumanization. Here we have included the definition of dehumanization and victimization according to Collins and Oxford English Dictionary. So dehumanization is the act of taking away from somebody the qualities which are often thought of as being the best in human beings, such as individuality. So you are removed your individuality, okay? And victimization is the action of singling someone out for cruel or unjust treatment. So treating someone in an unfair way, so unfairly, is also part of victimization, as we will see. Okay, I say there are some comments in the chat. So in Sweden, the negativity connected to refugee has dropped significantly since Ukrainians became refugees. Exactly, that's another story. So it depends on the country, the country of origin. So that's something that's also very interesting to discuss. Excellent. I realize your data is from before the Russia war in Ukraine. Exactly. Our data are from 2010 to 2017. Okay, so before the war in Ukraine. So what we are planning to expand the corpus, the collection of texts, to include more news. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Gemma is answering the questions and comments in the chat. Exactly, Juanjo, excellent. Yeah, I think so. I completely agree. Okay, I think the results would be different for the Ukrainian refugees. Okay. Okay, so the summarizing, we can say that refugees are dehumanized and refugees are victimized firstly, and also they are dehumanized. But now let's go into details. Let's see more details and explore the way they are dehumanized and the way they are victimized. So the words usually used in the media to dehumanize them and to victimize them.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jorge. Yes, I've been commenting on the interesting thoughts that have been arising in the chat. Well, now let's go a little bit deeper into the dehumanization words that we can find with refugee. Okay, we have tried to categorize, okay, and classify these words into 4 different, let's say, categories or subcategories within dehumanization. So according to the words that accompany refugees in the media, we can see that refugees are seen as numbers, like they are just quantified. We also see another category that is economic burden. Refugees are seen as just something we should pay for. Okay. Also seen as out of control phenomenon, and also seen just as objects. Okay. Let's comment on each of them.
So, but firstly, we've got a question.
Oh, yes, for
We've
sure.
got, again, a multiple choice question. Which of the following categories that Gemma has just mentioned do you think appears most often when refugees are discussed in the media? So they are treated as objects, they are just figures or numbers, they are an excessive mass of people, or they cost money to the host country. Okay, so 5 seconds more. So the top category is B, exactly, quantification. Okay, they are just figures or numbers. Okay, so also they are treated as objects, so they are objectified. They are something which is out of control, and also they cost money. Okay, but the most discussed topic in the media or the way of representing refugees in the media is as they are figures, numbers. Okay.
Okay, right. So here you can see that according to our analysis, in fact, quantification is a category that is more frequent in the media. That is, refugees are seen as mere numbers. Okay. Then this is followed by out of control phenomenon. So this is also very frequent with almost around 22%. Okay, and then followed by objectification and economic burden. But for sure, the way or the most frequent way that we can see how refugees are depicted or portrayed in the media is as numbers, followed by out of control phenomenon. And here you can see how the percentage of dehumanizing words increases gradually from 2010 to 2014, okay, until reaching its greatest percentage in 2015, okay, with almost 20% of dehumanization in the media when referring to refugees, okay? And this is, of course, coinciding with the Syrian conflict and how Syrian people were coming to Europe, okay? Trying to escape the war, okay? Then here you can see again a turning point, a peak, okay, in 2015, with all the categories spinning up, okay, and seeing that in 2015 objectification occupies 60 or over 67% in the representation of refugees in the media, which is like scandalous. Okay, it's kind of horrible from a point of view. And then this is followed by out of control phenomenon, economic burden, and quantification. Okay. Well, the thing of quantification, as Jorge has commented before, is a question of aggregation, that is depriving refugees from this individuality as human beings. Okay, if we talk about thousands, hundreds, you know, we are talking about a mass rather than individual human beings. Okay. With their own story and their own lives and worries and, you know, dreams. Okay, so this is just they are represented just as a mass, really. And this slide shows some of the words in quantification that accompany refugees in the media. And the most important thing here is, you know, that some of them don't appear until 2015, okay, coinciding with this Syrian exodus, okay, fleeing from fleeing the country, fleeing the Syrian country from the trying to escape the war. For instance, quota, okay, or for instance, centenares, cupo, right, millares, dozens, okay. All these words were not accompany the word refugee until 2015, which I think, or we think, is quite appealing. Then the words accompany, or the words that, yes, go with refugee in the media related to out-of-control phenomenon are things such as flujo, masivo, ola, like flux, wave, avalanche, contingent, invasion, mass, okay? All these words, okay, represent this out-of-control phenomenon that we cannot stop and that invade us somehow, okay? The idea of invasion, something that we cannot control. And again, some of these words appear for the first time in 2015, not before, again coinciding with the Syrian refugees, although the phenomenon of refugees didn't start in 2015, okay? It started many years before. But again, it's quite interesting to see that some of these words that you can see here in this in in this yellow square, okay, appeared from the first time in 2015.
Yeah. So here we've got words such as tide, or mass, or invasion, overcrowding. So mass of people, unanimous mass of people. They are not seen as individuals, but as a group of people. Yeah, thousands and millions and so on. So here
Again, yes.
another interactive exercise. So are there any words in the following sentences that seem strange to you? So the EU agrees on the quotas to allot 1,200 refugees among the members of the EU. Or the second headline, the agreement on the giving back of refugees with Turkey is already active. So are there any words in these headlines that seem strange to you? Let us know by sharing your opinion with us. Okay.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you agree. Yeah, quotas also, excellent. Giving back, to allot, so allotment, or even the allocation of refugees or distribution, giving back, quotas. So they sound strange when going with refugees. That's the idea. So yes, exactly. So they are mainly three words. Okay, so quotas, to allot, and giving back. Okay. Why, Gemma? Why are they so strange when accompanying refugees?
Well, let's see in a minute. Okay, well, here we are. That's why. Okay. Yes. In fact, the third category, remember, objectification, that is refugees represented as objects, okay, and commodities, okay, they are deprived from these human characteristics. And yes, very, very intelligent answers. You were brilliant, really, because you really identified the keywords, the words that were like strange or that were like related to objectification. In fact, as you can see here, repartir, a lot, and devolución, giving back, okay, are the top words, the most frequent words, okay, accompanying refugees, okay, in the media, and especially, well, not especially, well, almost, they were almost absent before 2015, and then we can see that they appear like the most frequent ones in terms of portraying refugees as objects. Okay, so we allot refugees and we give back refugees as if they were things. Okay. There are also some other words such as redistribución, redistribution, which is also kind of, you know, sounds strange with human people, with human beings, sorry. And also we can see some of the words related to boats or the water, such as arribado, varado, stranded, for instance. Okay, and we are going to see that more in detail now. But let's focus now on these first two words, that is repartir, that is a lot, and devolver, giving back. Okay, if we look up the dictionary, these two words, okay, none of the acception, none of the meanings that go with repartir, a lot, or devolver, giving back, refer to human beings, as you can see. Okay, distribute something, classify something, giving several people what they have ordered or must receive, giving what they have ordered, so objects, attributes parts to a whole, so everything, and in devolver again, the same in the same line. Okay, we can see it return something, restitute something. So as you can see, these two words refer to something, okay, to things, not human beings, right? So it is quite curious that when we talk about refugees in the media, or when we see refugees in the media use this type of words, okay, when referring to refugees.
Okay, so now we're moving to an entertaining exercise. Okay, so here we're asking you, what do these headlines have in common? And the question, your answer is not going to be a written answer. I don't know. I mean, we are not asking you about words, but about a draw. Okay, so draw the common element, dibuja el elemento común, draw the common element. So here we've got three sentences. 500 refugees stranded at sea as Europe argues over who should accept them. So 500 refugiados varados, or 2 Frontex vessels full of refugees docked at Chios port, refugiados arribados, or over 900 Iraqi Kurdish refugees run aground on the French Riviera. Refugiados encallaron. So, can you please draw the common element, the common object to these three sentences? Just a very simple drawing, you know, it's not something complex.
You need to use the mouse for that.
Yeah, the mouse here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. The activity begins now. So what's the common element of these three sentences? Refugees stranded, refugees docked, refugees run aground, refugiados varados, arribados, encallados.
Mm-hmm.
It's an object, okay?
I gave you some clues already, okay?
Okay, you can now see some of your drawings. You can
Okay, I can see
I can
water.
even see the progress.
Yes, me too. It's interesting. Water, yes, boats there, yeah. There's one which I cannot quite see. I cannot quite identify. Okay.
So, so here we already have some of your drawings. For example, we've got here a stop sign, okay, which is something saying, okay, stranded, docked, or run aground means that you are there, you are blocked. So maybe there's a relation between docked, stranded, run aground, and to be blocked. So you need to stop, you are stopped there. But, in reality, the common object, the common element of all three sentences is a boat. Okay, a boat. Here we can see the drawing of a boat in the water, blocked there. And also here we can see another interesting drawing of a boat with the waves over here, or even here. This is a quite sophisticated picture, because we can also see a great amount of people on the boat. So again, representing the idea of something massive, something thousands or even tons of people, Yeah, indeed. That's the okay, what about here? We've got another picture in progress.
Is someone drowning or
yeah,
that?
drowning,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. Personas ahogándose, okay, people drowning. Okay, and you know why this exercise? Why, Gemma?
Because, okay, yes, one of the or some of the words that are more frequent or go more frequently with refugiado in the media are related to boats and the water. Okay, for instance, you can see here arribado, varado, encallar, anclado, docked. Okay, stranded. Okay, run aground. Right. So you can see that sometimes, okay, there is a kind of identification of refugees with boats and the water itself. Okay, so it's not that the boat is docked at the Hellenic territory. The refugees are the ones that are docked at. Okay, not the boat. Okay, or the refugees are stranded and not the boat itself. Okay. Or as if they were sirens or something like that, So there is a kind of romantic picture of objectification here. But at the end of the day, again, refugees are seen as non-humans. Okay, they are dehumanized.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the boat, the thing which is stranded or docked, but refugees. So people. Okay.
And finally, okay, we get to another category, that is refugees seen as or portrayed in the media as economic burden, right? They are seen as an expense to the host country. And in this line, we can see some words accompany refugees in the media, such as euro, economic, money, fund, cost, funding, spending, okay, pay, right? And some of them, or most of them really, again, did not appear until 2015. Again, coincided with this, with the Syrian refugees coming to Europe. Okay, so
okay, so
yes,
move on.
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, so now it's time to talk about victimization. So as we said before, the refugees are not only dehumanized, are not only depersonalized, but also victimized. They are treated as victims. So victimization, as you can read here, includes not only words of misfortune and mistreatment, but also words from the semantic fields of support, help, and humanitarianism. Okay, so that's why when dealing with victimization, we divided the words appearing in the media into 3 minor categories. Okay, so humanitarianism, okay, words related to humanitarian aid, humanitarian support, which is something also very frequent in the media. So it's not only the dehumanization, it's not only something bad, but also something, let's say, good. They are people in need, and we are here to help them. Also, words related to unfair treatment and misfortune. Okay, misfortune, which is, refugees as people suffering unlucky events. Okay, so not only physical misfortune, but also emotional misfortune and even poverty. So words such as poverty, poor, people in need, in need of money, okay, and humanitarian conditions, but especially representing refugees as poor people and highlighting their poverty is something also so common in the media. So here we've got the victimization categories. Out of the 3 categories, humanitarianism is by far the most frequent category. Almost 78% of victimizing words are related to humanitarianism, words of support and humanitarian aid. Then the second victimization category is misfortune with 15%, and finally unfair treatment. So here we can see the victimization. Okay, we've got victimization over the 7 years, but I'd like you to pay attention to the year 2012, when we've got the lowest percentage of victimization, and compare this percentage to the one we've got in 2016, okay, where we've got 27% of victimization, okay, which is again the year of, so 2015, 2016 is that period of the Syrian refugee movement. But, it's not about dehumanization any longer, but now about victimization. And this is exactly what happened between 2015 and 2016. Here, if you see the green line represents the humanitarianism, so humanitarian words. And the yellow line represents the unfair treatment. So here we can see how unfair treatment rises dramatically here, okay, more than 60 points, unfair treatment from 2015 to 2016. However, humanitarianism decreases 15 points. So humanitarianism decreases, so fewer humanitarian words, and unfair treatment grows, so more words related to trato injusto, unfair treatment. Okay, so here you can see some examples of humanitarian words. So words implying, or words connected with promoting human welfare and reducing the suffering of people by helping them. For example, the top one is to host, to shelter, acoger in Spanish, or aid, help, ayuda, or asylum, attention, protection, support. So all of these words are related to humanitarianism. So they are people in need and we have to help them. Okay, that's the idea behind humanitarianism. Here you've got some examples. Okay, acogerá a 10,000 refugiados sirios, to host, to shelter 10,000 Syrian refugees, ayuda humanitaria, humanitarian aid, or trato adecuado y un asilo justo, adequate treatment and fair asylum for refugees. Okay, so here you can see the contrast between dehumanization and humanitarianism. The second subset or the second category here is unfair treatment. So it involves treating refugees in a way which is morally wrong. But this is about treating refugees in a way which is morally wrong, usually on the part of other people or even on the part of institutions. So, you know, unfair treatment implies negative actions that the refugees suffer, such as expulsar, expelled, rechazar, reject, atacar, attacked, or perseguir, persecute. Okay, so they are negative actions on the part of the institutions. For example, Trump promete expulsar a los refugiados sirios. Trump promises to expel the Syrian refugees. Polonia y Eslovaquia usan este argumento para rechazar las cuotas, use this argument to reject their corresponding refugee quotas. Suelen agredir a los refugiados, los traficantes de personas. So human smugglers often assault refugees on boarding. So they are treated unfairly. Okay, they are victims of unfair actions such as expel, reject, attack, persecute, assault. And finally, the third category here is misfortune. So refugees are unlucky people going through unlucky events, okay? And they suffer and they go through unlucky events as a result of their condition. So they are refugees, so they are displaced people, so they are expected to suffer, to you know, to live tragedies, to be victims, to be affected, to go to prison. They are even stateless people, personas apátridas, stateless people, okay, without a place to be, sin lugar donde están, donde estar, en el limbo. So limbo is another word, apátridas, stateless, okay. So they are unlucky people going through unlucky events. That's the idea also. Okay, and now we'd like to check your understanding of the different categories by doing this entertaining exercise. This is a matching pair activity. You just have to match the categories with the words in need. So, for example, you see humanitarianism. So here you've got host, aid, asylum, attention, protection. Okay, so you can now start matching the pairs just to check your understanding of the different categories and the words belonging to each of them. Are you with me? Do you have any problem?
Okay. We can see one answer. Ready?
Yeah, we're gonna check the pairs after some time. So after when they finish.
Oh, two answers already.
It's just a matching exercise, so match the categories with the words included in it. So this is essential, you know, to be aware of the way migrants and refugees are portrayed in the media, and also to be able to identify we are reading, for example, an immigrationalist piece of news, okay? Because sometimes we are not even aware of that we are reading something immigrationalist. Okay, so if you are aware of the typical words, the typical word combinations we can find in the media, you can better identify the immigrationalist language we are exposed to every day on TV, in the written press, on the radio. Okay.
Oh, 7 out of 7. Good.
And 7 attempts, so excellent.
Yeah. Not
The
bad.
same here, the same here. So I'm gonna give you some seconds more so that you can finish before checking the answers.
Yeah, I think we should move on, Jorge, if we don't have any more answers. So...
Okay, so let's check. So here we've got see the pairs. So we've got here the quantification. We've got millions, thousands, hundreds, increasing. Okay, it's a kind of alarming language also, or out of control phenomenon. So influx, wave, avalanche, invasion, tide. They are objects, treated as objects. So allot, give back, distribute, transfer. Economic burden, euro, money, fund, cost. So they cost money to the host country. Oh, sorry. Humanitarianism, as I said before, as the example, host, aid, asylum, attention, protection. Unfair treatment, expulsion, rejection, persecution, deportation. These are unfair treatment words. And finally, misfortune, plight, tragedy, hell, massacre. So these are misfortune words, so related to unlucky events. They unfortunately suffer. Okay.
Okay, well, just to we are approaching the end of our presentation. So as we have seen, the portrayal of immigrants and refugees in the media is surrounded and full of negative terms related to dehumanization and related to victimization. Okay, refugees are seen as, remember, numbers, objects, an expense to the country, out of control phenomenon. They are seen as, people that need help, that need support. So the thing is that this kind of language, even though we don't notice and we don't see it, okay, this kind of language is like influencing us all the time. If we read the crisis of refugees or the problem of immigration, if we read this hundreds and hundreds of times, okay, we end up saying and we end up using this expression, the problem of immigration, as if immigration is a problem. Okay, so in order to avoid, well, all this language is called immigrationalist language. Okay, that is a combination of immigration and sensationalism. Okay, like seeing migratory groups as, things like, things that we don't like. Okay, things that are problems for us. So in order to avoid this kind of language, Red acoge okay, has designed a manual against this immigrationalism, okay? So that it's kind of a manual, it's a very helpful manual to help us talk about immigration and talk about refugees, this phenomenon in a very, in an appropriate way, without without adopting this kind of negative perspective, which sometimes we do without noticing or without, you know, without realizing we're doing that. Okay, so for instance, some of the terms, or some of the guidelines of this manual are, for instance, that we should be especially careful with the use of the term illegal, okay, because people are not illegal, okay? They might be in an illegal situation according to the country or according to the legality of the country they are entering, but people can never be illegal, okay? So we must be careful with this term. Also, they recommend to eliminate the warlike and alarmist terms that add a criminalizing nuance and dramatism to the phenomenon of immigration, such as wave, avalanche, assault. Okay, so be careful with these words. Also, we should avoid dehumanized language, dehumanizing language. We should pay attention to the fact that we cannot reduce refugees or immigrants to objects, okay, to mere figures or numbers. Okay, they're people like you and me, and it's not good to talk about them as these kind of things, okay, as things, as objects, as things that are below us or that are apart, okay, from humanity in general. And also we should avoid the association of immigration and crime and immigration and terrorism, which is something that we can see very frequently. Especially people from Arab countries, okay, that are normally related to terrorism, okay, they are related to some terrorist associations that appear in those Arab countries or Arabic countries, and this is something we should avoid as well.
Okay. And now we are presenting you a very simple quiz just to check if you are able to distinguish between an immigrationalist and a non-immigrationalist headline. I'm going to show you an example. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Given these headlines, which one is the immigration list? Okay, so you've got A, at least 60 migrants managed to cross the fence between Melilla and Morocco, or at least 60 migrants managed to enter Melilla after a massive assault on the border fence that separates it from Morocco. So, which one is the immigrationalist headline from your point of view, A or B?
Okay.
So it's B, this is just the example, okay, because we've got here a massive assault, okay, which is something alarmist, okay. So now you can just answer the 6 questions on your own, and we're going to give you some a minute or some seconds to go through the 6 questions, and then we'll be commenting on them all together, okay, so that you can have some seconds to stop and think and try to identify the immigrationalist headline according to Gemma's and my explanations.
Mhm.
So these are real headlines, okay? We've modified to make them more neutral, let's say, and less immigrationalist.
Well, we can see 6 out of 6. Okay. Some of our okay. So it seems that they have understood, Jorge. Right? They got it.
Okay, so here we've got the first one. We already did it. Okay, this is the immigrationalist headline. Okay, because of this alarmist idea, massive assault. So you can say exactly the same, you can express exactly the same idea without using alarmist words such as massive assault, but simply saying cross the fence. Okay. Okay. What about the second one? You've got the avalanche of 500 immigrants on Melilla results in 57 injured, or the arrival. Okay, you can simply say the arrival instead of the avalanche. The avalanche, you are using an out of control word. Okay. Number 3, Hungary is to build more border fences to prevent large numbers of refugees from entering, or to stop the massive wave of refugees. Again, instead of prevent large numbers, which is something more neutral, if you like, we say stop the massive wave. Or several dozen refugees dead in a shipwreck in Turkish waters. So several dozen, so something uncertain. It's not an exact number, so they are all the same without any story behind them. So just by simply saying an approximate number like 48 refugees died, okay, it's just you are giving them more individuality. Number 5, Brussels proposes quotas for the allotment of refugees. Quotas, allotment, it's something objectifying. Just you can simply say proposes to relocate refugees. Okay. And finally, again, 3,000 refugees remain, sorry, the immigrationalist one is the B, sorry, it's the option B. Thousands of refugees stranded at the Balkan borders. Again, stranded is a term related to boats, okay? So you can simply say 3,000 refugees, or, you know, an approximate number, remain blocked, okay? Remain blocked. So you can be blocked. You can be blocked as a person, okay? But you are not really stranded. This is a kind of, yes, it's metaphorical language, but an objectifying metaphorical language, as Gemma said before. Okay. And now we'd like to show you a short video you know, published or made by Red Acoge, just to make you aware of how much immigrationalist language we are exposed to, okay? So you've got English subtitles. The video is in Spanish, but you've got English subtitles.
Son las 9 de la mañana. Esta mañana se celebrará en los puntos de la facultad un casting
para futuros presentadores informativos.
Miguel,
Julia,
Nicolás, Manuel,
Silvia,
Albert,
Melissa,
Teresa,
Sara,
Albert. Bueno, Silvia, vamos a leer varias noticias reales en el teléfono.
Vale.
Cuando quieras.
Entonces, con antecedentes empuja a la gente que lo identificaba.
La Policía Nacional ha arrestado este miércoles en una céntrica calle de Manresa a un ciudadano cuarentón
A un ciudadano cuarentón tras empuja a un agente de Policía Nacional.
El agente asistido por el Servicio de Emergencias Sanitarias y el cuarentón ya ha pasado a disposición. Por pobre cuarentón.
¿Pero estos son noticias normales o...?
Sí, sí.
Pues me ha chocado que destaquen la edad de la persona porque no tenía nada que ver en la noticia.
Cuarentón.
O sea, de verdad que ponía 40.
Muy bien. Vamos a probar con otra distinta.
Unos 200 fans de Justin Bieber causan destrozos en locales regentados por pelirrojos
tras una pelea en Colmenar Viejo. Pero
Numerosas dotaciones policiales se desplazaban esta madrugada al centro de la localidad madrileña de Colmenar Viejo.
para detener a casi 200 fans de Justin Bieber
que rompieron de forma violenta en locales nocturnos regentados por ciudadanos pelirrojos.
Tu familia real. No me jodas.
Perdona, es que es una gilipollez.
Se desconocen hasta el momento los motivos del altercado, pero podrían estar relacionados con los enfrentamientos entre bandas rivales de believers y pelirrojos. ¿De verdad? No puede ser.
¿Esto también es real? La noticia sí podría ser real, pero tal y como está escrita, no parece que pueda haber salido en ningún medio decente.
¿Qué más da que los dueños fueran pelirrojos de cara a la noticia ni que fueran ellas?
Claro, era irrelevante para la información y más bien quería dar un tono sensacionalista. Una especie de discriminación.
Deben dejar esto de pelirrojos. Es como muy... No entiendo nada. Pues las noticias que acabas de leer son reales. Este es un pequeño cambio que hemos hecho. Ahora puedes dar una vuelta a la hoja y verás el titular. Es una noticia real, ¿qué te parece? Un negro. Igual de mal.
Okay, so highlighting the nationality, like saying Marroquí or Moroccan or or other nationalities, it's something immigrationalist. It's like saying cuarentón or pelirrojo, which is something really useless to say. So no need to highlight the nationality, okay, or the country of origin of the people involved in the news. Okay. Okay, so here we've got some final remarks.
Yes, so as final remarks of this talk, okay, first of all, we have seen that there is a negative portrayal of migrants in the Spanish media, according to our data. So, and the fact is that it is not a question of ideology. We haven't got very deep into this point, but just for you to know, when we compared El Mundo and El País, which are supposed to be from different ideologies, El País being more progressive, okay, and the other one being more conservative, okay, comparing both, we have seen that there is no difference in the way they portray migration. There is a difference in other, or that there might be differences in other topics, such as, I don't know, when they talk about PSOE or PP or something like this, or when they talk about more political things. But when they talk about migration, there's no difference. The negative portrayal is there, okay, which is something that surprises us because El País is supposed to be more liberal, okay, more progressive, more towards the left side of the story, but you know, results are the same, okay, are similar to El Mundo, which is much more conservative. So another thing that we've seen is that this negative discourse increases over the years, reaching the peak in 2015 and 2016 period, coinciding with the Syrian conflict and people from Syria trying to get to Europe, okay, to have searching for a better life, or trying not to be killed, basically. And then, as we have seen, refugees are portrayed as victims or non-humans, okay? Either they are dehumanized, like they are objects, numbers, out of control phenomena, whatever, economic expense, or they are victims, like, you know, poor things, they don't know what to do, they are not lucky, they are surrounded by negative events, they are influenced by misfortune, they suffer a lot, okay? So as you can see, the portrayal of this kind or this kind of migratory groups or migratory phenomena is not really positive or not real. You know, it's like kind of influenced by negativity, highly influenced by negativity.
Okay. So, and now we'd like to finish with a game-based exercise, which is called Time to Climb, with some questions about today's contents. So now, if you go if you see your nearpod, so the interactive presentation we are using, you'll be asked to choose a character to start playing this short game we'll be playing in a moment. We'll be asking you some short questions about today's contents, just as a way of summarizing and, you know, the main ideas expressed today. Okay, so we'll be using the traditional one. So please choose your character. So follow the instructions, choose the character and join the game, and you'll enter the game exactly. I see some of you are entering the game. Well done. Yeah, we can see Antonio, Juanjo. Okay, you can choose different characters, not just the penguin. So Maria here. Okay, Pilar, Juanjo, Susana, Antonio. Okay, so now we'll be asking you some questions with options. They are simple questions, and the idea is to reach the peak of the mountain as soon as possible. So we will have a winner at the end of the game. Okay. Okay. Okay, we are ready to start the game. The media has an effect on how we perceive migration. Number two, the media are not ideologically biased, ideologically influenced. Question number three. Which of the following words that go with migrant is not considered immigrationalist? Is not considered. Illegal, in an irregular situation, undocumented, without ID. In an irregular situation. Choose the immigrationalist expression. It's a fight against migration. Number 5, saying that refugees or migrants invade us can be labeled as, can be considered as objectification, economic burden, out of control, or quantification. So invasion means out of control phenomenon. Question number 6, saying that refugees or migrants cost millions every year can be considered as what category? It's economic burden, of course. They cost money to the host country. That's the idea. Question number 7, there are 8 in total. So we are approaching the end. Number 7, saying that countries are allotted refugees or migrants. It's objectification, allotted, distributed. And finally, last question. It is common to find in the press the association between immigration and terrorism, immigration and research, refugees and culture. Yes, undoubtedly DA, also refugees and culture, but it's unfortunately less frequent. Okay, so let's see who's the winner. So Juanjo Ballesta, where are you? Hello. Okay, Juanjo, you are the winner of the game. Second position, Maria Luz. Okay, second position, and finally third position, Pilar Royo. Okay, so congratulations. So, and thank you for participating. Okay. And that's all we have to offer for today. So thank you very much for attending, for listening to us. And we are here open to any question you may want to ask.